Live. Time for another live stream. Just let me go ahead and set up my little comments window here before we get going, and we will get going. So don't you don't have to worry about what we are. Wow, maybe we do have to worry. I'm not really sure why. Why the chat won't find what I needed to find. Okay, there we go. So now it's looking for that. There we go. Okay, very well. Okay, so we are ready to get going, um, and it's going to be hopefully a nice, fairly quiet evening here. I just like having two different comment sections up. That could just be me. I'm just too used to doing it this way, but I do like having the comments on screen in both my own like special uh, my kind of I have a screen here in the room that's really all I use it for is to view comments as they're coming in. The mic sounds like you're talking through a fishbowl. That's bad. I wonder why. Let's check the sound here. Wonder why why that could be. Oh, maybe it's got the wrong um, audio setting here. Yep, it does. Okay. It certainly does. Okay, and system speakers. I don't want to go there. So I'm going to apply that. That's fine. And apply. And hit OK. Let's see, is that any better? Let me know. Oh, you gotta go. Hop back on League. Okay, well, thanks for popping in, man. We'll see how my sound sounds in a minute here. I'm just gonna head over. Actually, I'll just put on my own feed here, and we'll see if I sound any better. Okay. So if I go to Painting Ninja All-Stars Ronin, it always starts off this way. Stream status bad. We're not receiving video at a fast enough rate. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. Your users may experience buffering. Really? Let's view it. Let's see how bad this is. Well, that already looks kind of bad. Let's see. Huh. That already looks kind of bad. I don't know. It seemed okay to me. Just checking it out. Okay. Anyways, let's get to it. If it gets bad, please leave me a comment saying it's terrible. Shut it off. Stop. Start over. Do something different. Don't do what you're doing. Something like that. I would greatly appreciate it, you guys. Okay. Also, I'm telling you, this is sort of a kickback stream. So, I mean, we're going to work on stuff, but this is like kind of a low priority lull in between commissions and in between big jobs. So I want to do. I'm just gonna paint some more of my Ronin. It would be nice to kind of get through more of the Ninja All-Star stuff, and the sooner I get through it, the better off we're gonna be in long term. So. If you guys would just bear with me while we kind of work through this glitch here.
I mean, I guess I could prime with the 0.2, but I'll prime with the 0.3. Hope you guys are having a good night tonight. So far, it's been a pretty good weekend for me. Really, can't really complain. Had a lot of fun last night playing our Ninja All Stars RPG as part of the Friday night gaming session, um, which again still needs a name. So if you guys have any ideas for what name we might use, that would be greatly appreciated. So we did that obviously last night, and thank you for everybody who tuned in last night, and for everybody who kind of donated and got us to the $600 mark for our Extra Life campaign. This year seems like it's been a little bit more challenging with the longer campaign than in previous years, but I haven't given up yet. I still think, we may be able to do some good here in the final days, and that was my feral that nearly just fell out of my lap, and that would have been really, really bad. So I'm just going to clean out my airbrush here. You guys can look at that sort of hull, the hull of the airbrush, or the main body. Well, it's like, I mean, the outside of it is really, really dirty. But honestly, this one's looking pretty good. Not a whole lot to mess with here. So if I can get a good prime coat down on the, we're going to be working on sort of 3, maybe more closer to 4 models tonight. I don't know if we're going to get them all done, but we're just going to paint, and we're going to kind of go at whatever pace we feel like going at. Then we'll take it from there. I'm still on the crappier laptop, so it's kind of a bummer, I know. I wanted to film an actual like painting video, like an edited video tonight, but because I knew we were in for like a nice quiet evening, it just doesn't seem like that's gonna be the case. So but we do have nobody at all watching this. I guess I should tweet out that we're streaming. Let me see if we get any viewers. Let me go ahead and clean this up. Let's turn on our pump. Doesn't seem too bad. We're going to try that out. Let me go ahead and tweet out what we're painting live. And then we're going to get moving here. I promise. Painting Chibi Ninja All Stars. Oh, did I run out of... Whoa, just lagged, that's all. Okay, and we'll go Twitch, and we'll go YouTube. Alright, I'm going to share that. And we successfully tweeted that, so let's go ahead and go on with the priming. Ooh. Hey, we do have somebody else hopping on. I haven't quite given up on my other laptop just yet. But I think what's going to happen is I am going to most likely cave. I'll most likely end up having to buy a new laptop. I mean, it's about time. Oh, I have the snick. I have not painted this snick. Should totally do that too. Um, yeah, it's just, I guess it was just sort of a matter of time. I also need to run this wire for the camera up over the lamp here. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight we're just playing a little catch up. You know, nothing too big, just a bunch of Ninja All-Stars. Ronin. If you have been keeping up with this channel, you know, you should know by now that we are having an absolute blast playing Ninja All-Stars. And I should say it's not really Ninja All-Stars. We're playing sort of an RPG Ninja All-Stars. It sounds like I have a little bit of a clog on this airbrush. In fact, pretty sure I do. Making sure Hanzo here got fully primed. Okay. And I love this guy here, little Inu Clan Kaiken, whatever you want to call him. Been really kind of looking forward to painting this guy. Ooh. Got a little bit of a clog going on here. But yeah, like I'm running out of everything right now. It's kind of crazy. So my primer is running low. My airbrushes are, wow, my airbrushes are spitting now. It's just not doing a good job. Hey, what's up, Dave? There we go. Just not getting the right amount of power out of this airbrush. There we go. Whatever it was, I just cleared it. I'm running out of sake too. Yeah, I am running out of sake. That's perhaps the biggest crime of all. It's running out of sake. Hey, what's up, Philbrush? Rivet Wars is my current project. Almost finished. Then I need to finish the main box figures of Ninja All-Stars. Only half a painted team so far. Rivet Wars. That is a line that I have never painted anything for Rivet Wars. I mean, it looks like it would be super fun to paint. It is sort of a la chibi style. So that would be a fun one to paint. Regarding the Ninja All-Stars main box, I don't know, I'm kind of conflicted there because you can, you know, while you can play the generic ninjas and they're good, you know, they're decent minis and everything. I'm almost of the mindset of that you buy that main box and the figs that come in the box are more for like the board gamers or people that want to kind of play a one-off game of Ninja All-Stars. You know what I mean? That's and that makes no sense for people who understand the game, but it does kind of make sense for people that were looking for a standalone experience with Ninja All-Stars. You know, like you wouldn't be very interested in buying Clan Ika and Clan Concho and all those other games. I mean, all those other teams. If your like Ninja All Stars wasn't a league experience for you, if you just like sort of playing base game, base scenarios out of the box, standalone, one-off, and you play it with a couple of buddies of yours, and you never really put it back out there. You don't play campaign mode. That's where like a lot of the confusion came in with the product as packaged. Was like, okay, it's coming with these generic clans, and you can obviously you can build a generic clan, but if you're going to play campaign, if you're going to play in a league, um, you're way better off just selecting one of the other, like one of the named clans, and progressing a named clan, you know? So I always kind of looked at the ninjas that come in the box being like, well, I might use those for demos, or I might use those for, um, Super Dungeon Explorer, the Ninja Attack, which I do. So I have two of those generic um, ninja teams painted up. But if we're playing League, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't use those. Maybe they could be like backup extra players. I know people do that as well. So that's kind of cool. Rivet Wars. Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and let's get to the next prime color here, which is going to be gray. But yeah, Ninja All Stars was, we were playing it actually fairly heavily this time last year. And we were playing a league. We were playing like a kind of just like a 6-person league. So pretty small league. Um, but now we're playing it, we're just playing like our own homebrew RPG of it mainly because I really want to use more of the Ronin models. They're really cool models. And it's just not the greatest idea to take them, or you can't really include a lot of them in, your league games. And rightfully so. You shouldn't actually have these like access to like legendary characters all the time, especially in a game where you're really trying to just advance your team and make your team better. This may be one of my favorite guys in the entire line. I love this little cat ninja. Just really fun. Okay. And finally, we got this guy who's essentially just Storm Shadow. We do love our Storm Shadow. Get rid of the rest of this gray by kind of shooting it down at the minis. All right. Did not leave much shadow on these at all, but that's fine. It's kind of, I don't know, these chibi, I tend to go a little bit brighter on them anyway. Finally, this is the final step in priming. We're gonna do white, pick some specific spots on each model. And then we'll be done with priming, and we do a little bit of color blocking after that. All right. So again, hope you guys are having a good evening. Um, it's been a pretty good weekend for me so far. We have we spent our family today. My wife and I and our two little boys spent today, most of today anyway, um, doing costume stuff. So we were at the mall earlier today, doing some activities for the little guys, and we were in our shark costumes, which were pretty cool. I actually I don't do this very often, but I shared my family pictures to my the regular Play It Painted Facebook page, and I don't know, it just seemed like that was kind of appropriate at this time. I don't normally like to do that, but this time out it just was too fun to pass up. So we did that. Then we came home for a little bit, and then went back out. Oh gosh, how did I do that? Went back out later and took them to like this community center event where, they got to play games and decorate little bags, and they got to do a little mini trick or treating. So that's always fun. So then that's a pretty full day. Once we were done there, they came back. We all came back, and now they're all pretty much tuckered out. So it's like, why not? Let's get together and catch up on a little bit of painting. And find out what you guys are up to tonight as well. Alternately, I was going to try to test my other laptop, but that thing is, that thing is all but a brick due to that last Windows update. And I think the last time this happened with that, what I had to do was just basically leave the laptop on for a long time and just let it sort of clean itself up. Maybe run my defragger and antivirus and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that will help. Okay, so the prime step is over. All of these miniatures are primed. Now we can start the business of, getting most of the colors down. So Storm Shadow is going to be very easy. He's basically just white. so I'm gonna pick some blues because I'm gonna make him a very cool white. So I'm gonna pick some blues and do the exact same process that we just did, except except this is gonna be more for undercoating and color blocking. All right, so I'm just switching my airbrush right now to the smaller, the 0.2 airbrush. Kind of a cool aside. So we're doing this our Halloween costume stuff, and my wife needed some things inflated because she was, again, we were sharks, but she wanted inflatable sharks that we carry around with us, and she wanted like an inner tube, type thing, to kind of simulate that some of us were swimmers. Like I was kind of like a beach bum guy that's like getting a piggyback ride from a shark. So she wanted to blow up these like sharks and inner tubes and that kind of stuff. And she was like, "Can you help me? I don't know, she was looking for the manual inflator pump, and she didn't know where it was. So I just said, hey, why don't we just hook it up to my compressor? I've got a got an air compressor downstairs. Is what we do. So, you know, I think ever since I got really, worked airbrush into my painting routine, I've been using it every Halloween to do something. Whether or not it's inflating something, or also like uh, a couple of Halloweens ago, a few Halloweens ago, I used it to paint things like I use it to paint certain things on my costume. The last year's um, Halloween, I was painting up I was doing Skeletor. I was doing a work-related Skeletor, so I took a like kind of a cheapy Skeletor costume and then modified it up and put I put on an Initech work shirt so that I could really look like I was work-related Skeletor. But the Skeletor mask, the one that came with the set, was not up to par. It wasn't very good. So I ended up just kind of painting shadows and painting things on that so that it would look really good and up to spec. And it ended up looking really good. In fact, I think I may have gone a little too realistic with the shading, so it actually was a little bit scary. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of putting in the blue as just sort of an undertone, like a pre-shade. Pretty fun though. Man, I am exhausted. It was all the running around today, for sure. Could have been some of the drinking we had last night too. It might contribute in some very small way to me being super exhausted right now. Maybe in some minuscule way. Now, let's see. I ended up getting about, I want to say, 3 or 4 hours of sleep last night, which is pretty good. Like I usually get, um, on the outside, I'll get 5 hours of sleep. So usually I get like three, well, not three, but 4 and change. If I get 3, then I'm definitely going to be tired the next day. And I got somewhere in between. We'll call it 3.5 to 4 hours of sleep I got last night. So not too bad. Okay, so for this guy, he has a darker body. He has almost the same kind of outfit that Hanzo has. So I can use kind of a gray, a mid-tone gray as a. That's not bad. I can use that mid-tone gray as the base color, and then just sort of embellish around that. Let's try it. If it's too dark, it's even then still not that big of a deal. I'm more worried about this gray looking a little green, if anything. So, if you guys have left any more comments, then, whoa. Then I'm not seeing them. So I don't know if you guys have left any more comments or if we're just sort of coasting. So I'm going to cut this super tight and inside. This is what I love about the point too. You can get in and really just do more detail work. All right. Yeah, we're getting there. And just doing a little lighting effect on the blade there. Right? Looking. This is a really good gray. This is a really nice gray for airbrushing. Yeah, it's actually quite nice. I mean, I'm going to use some of it here on the Moon Princess. I'll use it here on her base. Just to give me a head start there. You can see her colors and Storm Shadow's colors are going to be very similar. That's actually quite nice. Yeah. Okay. And Hanzo has a lot of these dark colors as well. Also, I really love Hanzo. Such a cool miniature. And I like how this game has like several different versions of Hanzo. So you have like different elements of Hanzo. Right now there's a water Hanzo and a fire Hanzo. And a regular Hanzo. Like a classic rules Hanzo. Great miniature though. Really cool story. I think Hanzo, he goes default with a red, like a red scarf there around his face. So he really does look like more like a classic ninja, or at least what you expect to see of a ninja. Okay, and then finally, we're just gonna get a little bit of effects here on the sword. Okay. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting tonight. We're working on just some more Ninja All-Stars Ronin. Nothing earth-shattering. Just gonna give them some cool little paint jobs and be happy with them. Okay. Okie doke. So there's that. There we go. Okay. So I guess we'll continue the color blocking on Storm Shadow here, and we're going to progress up towards the cool white side of the scale. So next up, I want to paint something light like a glacier blue. I'm pretty sure I just got myself a new glacier blue anyway. So that worked out. So let's see what we got. This is a really nice light blue. That might be too... You know what? That's probably going to look okay. Let's try it. This is a super, super light blue. Wow. This is like a pale gray blue. Yeah, that's not a bad tone there. So this is going to be the base color of the model. So I'm going to just cover most of the model with it. Storm Shadow's so damn cool. Very cool. Just doing some lighting effects on the swords so that the swords look cool. Okay. And anybody else need this color? It kind of needs it right there. Nobody else really needs it. Oh, Moon Princess totally needs this color. This is like right up her. So I guess Moon Princess and Storm Shadow kind of have similar color schemes. Hey, what's up, Canvas? Where you been, man? Ah. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the feed. We are just painting up some chibi stuff, which shouldn't really be anything new to anybody who watches this feed. You know, regularly feature chibi painting on this channel. Look at that. Why do they call that a blue? It's not. Well, it's a hyper cool gray. Not really a blue. I don't know how I feel about the Moon Princess. I don't know that she's. Well, she looks. If you look at her face on camera, she looks kind of drowsy. She's got like that 1,000-yard stare. She does look super fun. Okay. There we go there. Let's do a little bit of the gray on Hanzo's sword. Yeah, he's okay. It's kind of nice to have this color because it blends in pretty damn cool. Pretty much like no matter what you're painting, it looks pretty cool. Alright, and then Inu Clan. Okay. Yeah, they're coming along. Looking pretty good. Give her another coat real quick. Alright. Do. But yeah, not much going on, man. Pretty quiet. Just checking out the Halloween costumes and all that stuff this year. Pretty uneventful. Not a lot of like really cool new costumes or anything like that. And then as far as kids are concerned, the one popular, like the super popular costume we saw today was fireman, which makes sense. I mean, given that all the wildfires California has had recently, that makes sense that people want to dress their kids up as firefighters and tell their kids that firefighters are heroes because they are. Um, so yeah. Let's see if I can find. I have a white airbrush. I have a Vallejo Game Air white. If I could find it. I believe it is a black cap. If not, the fallback. Oh, here it is. Yeah, dead white. But if not, the fallback would have been just thin Vallejo model color. White, and that would have been okay too. Oh, before I even do that, I need a good. I need like a good orange to serve as the undertone for the Inu Clan Kaiken. You need an orange. It's not a bad orange. If it mixes, it's kind of pale. That's a pretty good orange, although, well, it might look a little too light, but whatever. Let's see. We don't really do Halloween here in Australia, but the shops are trying their hardest every year to make it take off. Well, I'm sure there is some monetary gain to Halloween for retailers. But I would just say that I think Halloween, for me and my family anyways, Halloween is the best. Uh, it's the best holiday all year. You know what I mean? It has uh, all of the like our favorite things to do. Because my wife teaches drama, and I guess I like costumes. So the two of us really like dressing up in costumes, and I really like crappy horror movies. I like a lot of the aesthetics with Halloween, the bats and spiders and chains and skulls and all that kind of stuff. I love that stuff too. Um, and I don't know, it's just super fun. I mean, it's the one time a year where people get really creative and, they start and they come up with these really awesome costumes. Then you have the really fun parties. And I mean, for Halloween, you can have a fun party for adults. You can have a fun party for the little kids. You get lots of options there. But to me, it just seems like so much better than, say, Christmas, where, most people or a lot of people would consider Christmas the best holiday. I would say no. Christmas has its because you're buying gifts, like you're going to spend hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars every Christmas um, to try and impress people that maybe you don't always care to really have their blessing on stuff. Christmas is a lot of pomp and circumstance, and that's what I don't really like about Christmas. It's compulsory, like you have to buy you have to buy decent gifts for everybody that you supposedly care about. Then if you then you got to deal with all the sales and lines and crowds and stress, making sure um, that you have all your gifts. Then you got to deal with family, like reuniting your family. You don't like this cousin, blah, 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 blah. There's another whole banquet associated with Christmas. You got to cook food. You got to eat other people's cooked food. And then you got the whole present thing. And you got religious arguments during Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh, Happy Holidays. Um, And you just don't get that hassle with Halloween. You don't get that hassle, at least I don't, with Halloween. It's the best holiday. My only knock on Halloween is why don't we celebrate Halloween the entire month of October? Because I think it's appropriate. If you're like really trying to spook people the whole month and you have really cool costumes, well, you should be able to just wear them for like a month. Just like walk around that every day that month or that October and just be you. Like you can fly your freak flag if you want. Um, I don't know. I just think it is objectively a better holiday than Christmas because Christmas has all that extra crap you have to do. And this has it has some convention to it. Like you have to buy candy and hand out candy, but I mean, a bag of candy versus, an average of $15 to $25 per gift. that you're gonna give someone, I'm gonna take the candy, dude. Christmas is just awkward. It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really give you, I just don't like it. Well, it's not that I don't like Christmas. Um, I don't think it's the best holiday. Um, and the holiday, in my opinion, that's in the way of Christmas is Halloween. And how much more fun Halloween is. Like, you can throw, some people really love Thanksgiving, and I don't really get that. I don't really get how, like, Thanksgiving, why would you, who likes Thanksgiving? I mean, you get to eat, I guess, right? You get to eat stuff, but that really? Like, Thanksgiving's dumb. Who the who the hell likes that? I don't know. So you don't really compare it to Thanksgiving. Easter's dumb. You like Easter is the it's you get a bunch of colored freaking eggs. How lame is that? Like you didn't even get to like get picked like eggs. Eggs are gonna compare with getting actual gifts and uh, in the case of Halloween, just getting candy. You know what I mean? Do you see how Halloween basically doesn't have any gaps? Like everything that you do on Halloween is pretty freaking awesome. Um, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Like people who don't understand that it is objectively the best holiday that you can celebrate. Um, whatever. I don't know. People that are hardcore into Christmas kind of scare me a little bit. And bear in mind, my wife is fairly hardcore into Christmas. I think it's inferior. I'm like, Christmas is okay, but Christmas is a month-long annoyance. It's the stress of having to get uh, gifts for everybody. And then, like, Halloween, do you have to meet up with your shitty family? No. Do you have to sit there and have a meal with them and pretend to be some shit you aren't and, like, try to impress them with, you know, oh, I have a new girlfriend now. Oh, yeah? Well, yeah, she lives 2 continents away, and I'm not really sure. She might be actually a guy. None of that stuff comes out during during a Halloween family dinner because guess what? You don't have to do a Halloween family freaking dinner. You get out there with your kids and you get them candy. Um, or, if you're a younger person without kids, like my wife and I still loved Halloween like well before we had kids. We just knew that when we did have kids, it would be that much better. So, um, like we used to go out dancing and stuff. We would go to nightclubs and go in costume, and it would be super fun. Like, what's not to like there? I don't know why I need to block the scarf because I could just easily paint it. Sometimes I'm just a D-bag and I gotta do it that way. I don't know. Whoa, what's that all about? I'll find out what that is in a minute. I don't think that's anything important, but we'll see. So, what is your favorite holiday and why? I mean, do my arguments for Halloween being the best holiday make sense to you? Do you disagree? Do you think that Christmas is still a better holiday than Halloween? Why? Let me know. I like the idea of getting into Christmas hype, but by the time it comes, it's so hot here and I just couldn't be bothered. Yeah, well, Christmas in Australia, yeah, You're talking about the dead of summer. It just, Christmas. Christmas is just hype and expenditures and crappy religious arguments, bad reunions with your family. Like really? That's a better holiday than Halloween. Halloween cuts right to the chase. Like, I don't even want food. I just want candy. And I'm not even gonna like have any pretense. I'm gonna put on this crazy suit and I'm gonna walk up to people and ask them for candy. Like there's no, there's no better holiday than that. You don't, there's none of this downside like, oh, I better buy a $50 gift because last year I looked up the price they spent on this gift and they spent at least $50 on it. You know what I mean? Like Christmas turned getting gifts into a somewhat like burdensome affair because of the mandatory reciprocity of it. Oh, well, you know, that guy at work that you talk to for a combined 7 minutes a year decided to buy you a $50 gift, and so now you're stuck having to buy him a nice gift, uh, just to show. I mean, not even really to reciprocate the friendship, but more of like, oh well, I'm gonna put my best forward too, and we're gonna, here we go. I don't know. There's really no reason for me to be blocking again. And I need to block a belt. That's ridiculous. It looks cool. I tell all my relatives in advance they're getting Christmas for Christmas is off me as heir. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to like bah humbug Christmas because there's stuff I like about Christmas. I like Christmas a lot more that now that I have kids because that was the whole thing that was dope about Christmas was when you were a kid and when you could enjoy um, having awesome enjoy like waking up in the morning and opening up all these awesome gifts. When you're an adult, oh, you don't really see the awesome gifts. You see like, damn, I just spent $400 this morning. It's not that, it's not as fun. You can't take it as lightly. See what happened? I tried to block that section and now it just looks bad. He is pretty damn cool though. Yeah, he's pretty cool, this Inu clan guy. Okay. So now really the only color left to block is going to be white. So let's do the white and then we're ready to get on with just the brush painting portion of the night. I don't know why I felt the need to just block everything so closely. I normally don't do that. Like I normally won't be in that tight. It just doesn't, like, it's cool if you can do that. Like if you have the kind of precision to get down there, but who cares if you can't? You got brushes, man. Just use that. Not hearing a lot of comments about favorite holidays, so I don't know. And I don't know if anyone has no one has either supported or denied my claim that Halloween is an objectively better holiday than Christmas. It's just all around better. It's more beneficial to you. Your people are more likely to be happy uh, during Halloween than they are going to be during Christmas. I mean, shoot, you know when people kill themselves on Christmas, right? You know that, and nobody like thought horribly about their lives and re-examined everything and killed themselves because they didn't get enough Snickers bars in their bag. Like, I don't know. Halloween is a great freaking holiday. That's all I'm saying. So anybody else? Anybody else for attacking or defending my statement? Halloween is objectively a better holiday than Christmas. Let us know in the comments. Nice. A little storm shadow action there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Moon Princess is pretty rad. Okay, I think we're ready to rock. Let's see. Uh, Lucchesi says, are Black Friday sales considered a Halloween event or a Christmas event? Um, you have to call them a Christmas event because they originated for and they're designed around Christmas. The purpose of a Black Friday sale is to get product in front of you so that you can get a good discount and you can, you know, have it in time for Christmas. The fact that, if anything, it proves how shittier Christmas is because Christmas has encroached on neighboring holidays. Oh, hey, what Dave says, yeah, so wait to before I move on to Dave's comment. Yeah, it's definitely the fault of Christmas. All the Black Friday sales, the stuff that happens, you know, in the winter months. That's Christmas encroaching other holidays. I mean, they can take Black Friday from Thanksgiving because again, Thanksgiving sucks. I do not like that. I mean, I like to eat as much as the next dude. I love pumpkin pie. Don't get me wrong. I like stuff like that. But the holiday, Thanksgiving is, um, and oh, and to be totally transparent with you, maybe I have some bias against Thanksgiving because my mother died on Thanksgiving. Um, but I never really liked Thanksgiving. I would, ugh, it's just let's get together with a bunch of family members, and my family in particular, they weren't really good cooks. My mom was a good cook, but nobody else was really good. And I would, I cooked some dishes for Thanksgiving. I mean, towards the end there, my wife and I were doing most of the cooking. In fact, my wife made so many things during Thanksgiving, and then I made a couple of Filipino dishes, and we just put it out on the table. And that's not to say my siblings did contribute things. Like they did, they might bring by some dessert and that kind of stuff. They might bring other things um, to help with the table. But you know, it's just not. Thanksgiving is just not. It's not a strong enough holiday. Um, let's see. And then you have people that, you know, that actually find Thanksgiving offensive. So, and I'm not even going to go into there. Um, Dave says, Octave, the con was good for the first time running. That's good, man. That's good to hear. You know, I love the little conventions. I love the little local conventions because it's like, especially for our area in SoCal, um, we have we have a large gaming community in number, but in terms of activity and reach, it's actually fairly segmented. So if you can imagine, um, our local gaming store, we'll say conservatively, well, actually, our local gaming store is fairly crowded. So we'll call it, for tabletop miniatures, not board games or anything like that. And so we're talking 40K, Warmahordes, X-Wing, Infinity, and then basically at the bottom, all the stuff I play. If you stuck all those players together, you'd probably have a good 25 or 30 players. Okay, that sounds good. But then when you look at the breakdown of the store, you have 5 people playing this game on this day, and 5 people playing this game on this day, and 2 people playing the game on this day. It still seems rather disjointed, and it's hard to kind of get everybody together. All you have to do is kind of break that up a scale and treat now all of your hobby, the local hobby stores in the SoCal region as being the same. There's probably a good, I'll call it 3 to 400 miniature wargamers in the Southern California region, but those 3 to 400 wargamers are all split between probably 12 to 20 different shops. So there are, so again, a large number, but it's all disjointed. So when you have a local con, oh God, like nothing's on screen. You guys aren't even like getting to look at anything. I apologize. Um, but so when you have a local con, you can bring all those people together, right? So like the Guild Ball crew, we have a Guild Ball crew up here in Orange County of between probably 3 stores. We probably have, I'll call it 12 players, 12 to 15 players, right? Then you factor in another 20 or so from San Diego, and then you have another, I don't know, 8 to 10 from Los Angeles. And so if you threw a convention, um, in any of those regions, ideally, I would say Orange County because you have you've got LA to the north and San Diego to the south. You're almost the midway point. Um, then then you can actually capitalize on the large number of players, not just the sort of segmented, we go to this shop on this day. Because even within like Guild Ball, um, you have uh, at Comic Quest, you have like like mini metas of Guild Ball. You have a group of Guild Ball players like the we play on Thursday nights. You have another smaller subgroup of that plays on Tuesdays and Friday nights. And then there's another subgroup that like plays every once in a while, or maybe they play up at Brookhurst, but they're still kind of looking for regular action. So that's part of the challenge. So anyways, that's why I really like local conventions because it gives you more opportunity to actually take advantage of um, the higher density population that you have. Um, that's how you get cock frenzy. So obviously a reference to last night. Phil Brush says, "Yeah, my family are better apart than stuck in a room all trying to get the best food." Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to like knock on people's families, but you gotta admit that it is not always the best thing. Like it can be a huge downside to having to go to Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter or one of these other shitty holidays and just put up with a relative that you just don't like. You know, you weren't hungover. No, well, let's see. I woke up. What did I say? I got maybe 3.5 hours of sleep. I woke up in the morning, um, and I had a banana. Like I was feeling a little bit of like the dehydration, but I wasn't hungover. So I was feeling a little bit of the dehydration. So I got up. I had a banana. Yeah, and that actually was pretty damn good. Like that kind of did the trick for me. Oh shoot. I wanna let me kick on this airbrush for one more thing. I totally forgot. I need to do this. Um, I forgot to. I gotta paint Naja here real quick. So let's put a base coat on Naja, and the base coat is gonna be. Pick a good color. You guys haven't issued a verdict one way or the other. So I'm just going to vote for all of us and say that, yeah, we agree. You know, Halloween is the best holiday. It is the best holiday. There's no one like there's no one disputing Halloween. There aren't religions fighting over Halloween. There's not multiple ways to say Halloween. You just say Happy Halloween and then you give the freaking candy. There are still bad things to Halloween. Don't get me wrong. There are still downsides to Halloween. One of the scariest things, like scariest downsides to Halloween would be, those of us who own cats, specifically black cats, and what stupid people do to animals on Halloween is just, it's horrifying. I don't even want to get into it. Um, so there's that. And then there's like, especially in the 80s and so on, when we did free range trick or treating, you know, we used to uh, we used to get more adventurous or more daring with our trick or treating. We actually went to our neighbors' homes and people that we may not know that well and asked them for candy. And some particularly demented motherfuckers would come by and do horrible things to the candy to get kids sick or hurt them or worse. Um, so there's that, and I don't deny that. Those are some downsides to Halloween, but overall, like I still tell you, man, Halloween is a dope holiday. God, I really do need more airbrush thinner. Okay, but no, I wasn't hungover. I woke up, had a banana, and it wasn't doing great. And then I had some salt later in the morning, um, like some pretzel chips, and I was good to go. Um, it did alarm me a little bit though that I felt anything because I usually feel nothing from sake. Usually, sake is beautiful. It usually doesn't do anything to me. All right. But thank you for being. I appreciate your concern. I was thinking about this today. I was like, you know, I'm not really a drinker when it comes down to it. Believe it or not, guys, I'm not really a drinker. I we talk about it a fair bit. Like we talk about weird shit that happens at Kingdom Con or other conventions and stuff where, I've been known to enjoy a libation or two. And then also there's this whole, the Friday night gaming, which I kind of baked in a drinking mechanic. I'm not really sure how that came about. I think that was, one time me and Dizzy were just joking that we were gonna drink, be drunk during a gaming feed. So then I guess I decided to make that a thing. So there's that. But no, I don't, not really a drinker. Although by the end of this campaign, who knows? Maybe I will be a drinker. But the campaign does kind of have me at like once a week getting drunk now. That's a big deal, man. I don't really drink like I usually only drink like a handful of times every year. I'm usually only drunk, you know, not very often at all. Look at that snick. It's a snick. Speaking of which, I asked this at the top of the show. Um, if you guys have any suggestions for what we should name that segment, I'm talking specifically about the Friday night gaming that we do on this channel. It doesn't have to be, it probably should not be Ninja All-Stars named because we're not going to only be playing Ninja All-Stars. I mean, so far we've played like 4 or 5 different games. We're going to start making the rounds through more games. Right now though, during Extra Life, we do want to kind of focus in on Ninja All-Stars because of, the generous donation from Ninja Division and the idea that we're going to try to raffle off as much of that stuff as possible. Okay? So if you have any thought what we might call the Friday night gaming, originally I was calling it I was gonna call it Red Eye Gaming because because it's late at night and you're drinking, and so you know so red eyes associated with that. Um, but I don't know, it's not a strong enough name for me. Not a strong enough name for a show. So let me know what you guys think. Friday Night Gaming, I was going to call it Sword Guys because Sword Guys is never a good name for anything. So kind of why I wanted to go Sword Guys. What are some of the other ones that we were looking at? But yeah, I just don't have a name for it. So we'll come up with one. I trust you guys. We'll come up with one. Okay, let's turn this off. I'm gonna have a little munch here. What's going on here? Hmm. Okay. Play it plastered. Huh. That's not bad. That's assuming we would keep a drinking mechanic in every game that we play. That's a lot of pressure. I don't know if we would. I don't know. Phil Brush says, "Have you had a chance to try out Rail Raiders?" No, and I want to. Um, I want to try it out. Uh, I don't think you can play it co-op, so that's one of the big downsides to it. Is I would prefer to play co-op board games because the rest my actual like in real life gaming time tends to be miniature head-to-head miniature games, and I love them. So we're gonna stay with those. But for board games, one of the main reasons why we started playing these Friday night games was because I have board games, and I'm like, it just made me so sad. I never get to play them. Um, and so we're starting to play them, and with the format that we're using, and you know, uh, people, players potentially being all the way out in Canada or Australia or anything like that, you got to have a co-op game, and it's got to be not terribly dependent on position. I say that as we play Ninja All Stars, which is somewhat dependent on position. And also not a co-op game. We just modded it to be one. But I don't know. From what I saw of Rail Raiders Infinite, seemed like you could stream that game. Well, we'll see. Let's set up a new little painting. Whoa. I don't know, man. Getting really tired. It's interesting to me that we seem to be deadlocked on the Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween thing. No one has chimed in on that, and so far only Lucchesi has a suggestion on the the show name. Play it plastered. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I don't know. I'm worried that if we include the word plastered in there, that it sets up a precedent. You know, the drinking sake during the campaign was thematic. I don't know. I just don't know if I have the liver to do it every weekend, you know? I'll do it through Extra Life. God, I wish I did actually have the ability to do an Extra Life gaming marathon the way that most people do it, where they game for 24 hours. I'd love to do that. I would love to do just a permanent gaming or 24-hour gaming and painting stream where I paint things and then we go into, you know, maybe immediately as soon as it's dried and sealed, we play a game with what I've painted. Like, I would love to do that. Because if it's a 24-hour cycle, you might be able to do 3, 4, maybe even 5 games in the course of 24 hours. Like, get the games all painted and ready to go, and then learn the game and then play it. That would be so awesome. It would even be better if I had a stream, like if I had the streaming capability to handle that. Because right now, my technological options are awful. My main laptop is a brick right now because of the Windows 10 update. And and you probably heard me mention that several times because it is something that several pisses me off. This guy's pretty awesome. So the Red Eye Gaming Night was a thought. Seems too complicated. I mean, really, the defining characteristics of the Friday night gaming is one, it's typically late at night. No matter what time zone you're in, it always seems to be late at night. And then two, um, they're all bored. No, no, no. The main thing is that they're late at night and we're playing games on a stream. I don't know. I really don't know what that means. Hanzo's pretty awesome, I gotta say. Um, it would be cool to call it something like poor choices to kind of reflect, it being so late at night and a lot of times, people getting drunk or buzzed and then being asked critical decisions. Um, so I don't know. That could be an option. We could call it fried rice gaming to name it after the infamous fried rice episode of Zombicide that we played. I don't know. If you're just tuning in, let us know. I mean, we have a couple of questions. One, um, how do you feel about uh, my opinion that Halloween is objectively an objectively better holiday than Christmas, and is also the best holiday? So it's a statement. If you have an opinion on that, leave us a comment. The other statement was if you have an idea, like a name for the Friday night gaming show that we do here. Maybe we should just call it like viewer discretion is advised or something like that. Just like include the warning as the name of the show. Like don't bring your kids or something. Do that. Better not bring your kids. We could also call it like uh, Star Trek the cutting room floor because we're basically not good enough for it to be like a primetime show, but and so all of our segments would get cut and left on bottom uh, the bottom of the editing room floor. Mm-hmm. Okay. So everybody still not giving us an opinion on Halloween. I'd also be interested in like taking suggestions for what me or my family might dress up as for Halloween 2018. Because my wife started shopping for those um, inflatable sharks and all the other like extra kit that we had on that I don't think anyone really even paid attention to. Um, yeah, you're gonna want to look out for um, that product. Okay, am I just screwing up here or just not getting a smooth eyeball? Oops. Right as I did that, I realized, oh man, I gotta get Naja's eyes in. the snick. There we go. Okay. All right. So now we got to start picking some eye colors. I like greens, blues, hazels. Let's see what we want to do here. Yeah, it's too red. That's weird looking. Let's use that. That's a good one. Yeah. So really, no one, still nobody, willing to contest the claim or even support the claim that Halloween is the best. Uh, it is the best holiday. Man, I am getting so tired. I'm so exhausted. I don't know what to do. Let's let's continue to paint for a little bit. See if I can at least get. These guys are going to just start finishing up quick. Once we finish, I can probably finish Storm Shadow and possibly the Moon Queen tonight. Be good. The Moon, I think she's, or the Moon Goddess, whatever she's called. Um, hey, what's up, Albert? It's a lot of comments that just punked in. Maybe there's a, is there a delay? I'm indifferent. Was never much for dressing up. I love getting candy though, but as I got older, I liked the day after Halloween, where I could just buy it myself. And once again, even with a person that doesn't even want to participate in Halloween, there is still a good tangible benefit for the holiday. I'm counting it as a win, Albert. We're still, we're logging that one in the win column. You also agree that Halloween is the best holiday. Just gonna do a few different eye colors. I want Hanzo to have weird eyes. Not for sure. These are gonna be some weird eyes for Hanzo. Okay, so we are getting some opinion on these. That is just not dark enough. Need a darker brown. Like if it would be cool if it was like a cola brown or something. That would be pretty cool. Anybody hate Halloween? Kind of want to see, I want to see some rants on Halloween because I'm positive there are people that hate Halloween. I don't understand what the hell they're talking about, but I would watch it just to see, to see another viewpoint. Yeah, Hanzo's pretty awesome. So maybe I finish Storm Shadow and Hanzo tonight. I don't know. And then we're gonna do for the clan Kaiken, he can get green eyes. I still like to have the kitty have like actual eyes. Whoa. Hmm. Okay. Let's put that green eye back in real quick. Like it never happened. See? Hope he didn't make like crazy plans to. Oh, jeez. I don't know. I'm just that tired, man. I am freaking. I'm just so exhausted. Okay, there's that. So now we're painting all the little black center parts of the eyeballs in. Oh man, I'm so low on the thing. Sorry, guys. Okay. And I don't really need to do black centers here, but I will just to. So even that guy has like miniature eyeballs. So does the snick. I didn't even finish the snick. Least productive feed ever. Right. So now we take the. We're gonna do the little tiny little white dot that you do at the end. Okay. Yeah, Hanzo has kind of a creepy stare going on. As for this guy, Hmm. Man, it's like next to impossible to get this white dot where I want it. But I'm just gonna leave it there. You can't really make out, like you never really get a good angle on Storm Shadow's eyes anyway. 1 second. Let's see. Boy, there's a lot of things that just happened. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I mean, they're coming along. It's actually not terrible progress for one night, but it could be better. They're coming along. I think I borked Hanzo's eyes. Hold on. Let me see if I can try to fix Hanzo's eyes before we. At least for a little bit before we call it. Okay, so that doesn't look terrible. Now let's do the white dot. The white dot is everything when you're doing enemy eyes. You screw up the white dot, you screwed up the eyes. And in this case, I clearly screwed up the white dot. There we go. Okay. Still looks a little odd, but we'll be okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna call it for tonight, guys. I'm just too tired to talk. Like I could sit here and paint and finish these, but I'm too tired to talk, and so that's kind of where we're just gonna have to call the feed. So anyway, I really do appreciate you guys tuning in, and you know, it was a nice, quiet little night. We got a little bit of painting done. These guys are gonna finish really quick. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do. I don't even know if it's worth doing another feed. I don't know. Maybe I kick the camera on later or whatever. Anyways, so with that, I want to thank everybody for watching. Have a good night, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.